Hello everyone, we're gonna play Seduce Me, the Otome, again. Like, a little while ago, or a few hours ago, I played it, got the best ending ever of being the demonic lord of the world, which is awesome. But before I move on to another game, I just wanted to, I don't know, play a little bit more, I guess. So, let's load our progress, which... Yes, is this... Yeah, it's when I woke up. So, let's start from here, and, we're gonna just take we're not gonna go to the graveyard, we're gonna hang out here, I guess, so. Alright, let's see if we can get a different ending and, enjoy the game a little bit more before I move on to something else, so. Yeah, let's do it! We're going to, explore the house. Well, come on, feet, let's go on an adventure. I stood and exited my room, hoping the boys were still asleep. I began to wander the halls on my end of the house, opening each door to find what room each door led to. We found an office desk. Oh yeah, that's when we found the laptop with the magical powers. We're gonna try it. Get that. Yep. Alright, so yeah, I looked at the laptop with the magic inside, and, went to sleep. And... Alright, we're going downstairs. Alright, so here's where I think it changes in the story. So we went outside, they were all fighting, practicing. Quickly went out in the backyard in response to the noise I had heard. In the yard were all 5 boys practicing fighting. Sam was in the middle with the other 4 surrounding him, throwing punches and kicks at him. Sam, being the strongest of the bunch, blocked and dodged each almost masterfully. Oh, shut up, Sam. You ain't hot shit. So I'm gonna disturb him. I'm gonna be like, hey. All at once the boys looked at me, frozen in their movements. I just stood at the doorway, staring at them after my outburst. James was the first to break away from the group, stepping towards me.
Good morning. We apologize if we woke you up.
You didn't wake me up. I was just bored. Oh no, it's fine. I've been awake for a while now. I'm sorry I interrupted.
It's quite all right. We needed to stop anyway. We don't want to overwork Sam.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. I can handle more than those pity punches.
Sure you can.
Your mind seems grateful that we've stopped.
Shut up, Damien.
Oh crap, we should probably make some lunch. I'm sure you're starving.
I'll make the lunch this time since you guys made dinner, so... I can handle lunch and be like, yeah, good thinking, Q. We're in sync here. Y'all seem to be very busy training to beat Malix. I'll take care of it today.
Whoa, seriously?
Yeah, I'll make some sandwiches. Yeah, why not? I'm not useless. I know how to cook and do other stuff, too.
Well, no, I wasn't insinuating.
What he means to say is that we'd be really grateful if you could make lunch today.
Yeah, no problem, guys. I got this. No problem. Yeah, see? We're good. As I turned to the kitchen, the boys went back straight to training. They seemed very determined to get better and become stronger. Might as well make lunch today. It's been a while since I cooked. Lunch wasn't particularly hard. I decided to make cold cut sandwiches. We got rice and other veggies and pizza. I'm gonna go with the sandwiches. Because why not? I assembled simple sandwiches for all of us. After I poured some potato chips on the side of each sandwich, I felt satisfied. Who said lunch had to be cooked? I placed the food in the dining room. However, none of the boys were there by the time I brought the final dish out. I carried that dish to the main lobby, catching the boys separating into 2 different rooms of the house. Part of me wanted to go to one in particular. The other part of me wanted to just leave them be and take my food in hand and go to my room and eat. Maybe I could go out today while the boys were focusing on training. Find one of the incubi, go to your room and eat. Yeah, let's find one of the incubi. I quickly rushed back and grabbed a second food dish before hunting down one of the boys. I couldn't find any of them. What, still? We still can't find them? I could only shrug, though. They knew where the food was, so I went to my room instead and ate alone. Not my problem. I turned on my computer and started to jam to music, and I ate my food. As I ate, I began to think about going out. There were so many places to go, things to do. Stay in my room, grab my gaze out of the Pink Lady Cafe. I'm gonna stay in my room. I don't want to get kidnapped today, so I'm just gonna stay in my room. I needed to stay in. There was really no need to spend my day anywhere except at home. I'll just entertain myself. The question was, how? Browse on the internet, play a video game, watch a movie, study. Well, that's a hard choice, my friend. Definitely not gonna study. Nope. Watch a movie, play a video game, browse the internet. Do tend to browse the internet a lot. Video games are awesome. Watching movies are awesome. Well, let's watch some anime. How about that? Can we do that? I nodded to myself. The movie sounded good. I browsed through my bedside drawers and found the remote to the TV, turning it on and connecting it to my Web Movies account. I began to scroll through all the categories, seeing all that was available to me. Romance, horror, comedy, tragedy. Everything was there. It was hard to decide. I sighed and picked a random title. War of the Dragons. Why not? War of the Dragons sounds pretty damn cool, actually. The movie began and I found myself entranced. The main character was a girl bound by her destiny to be the Dragon Queen and was trying to run away from it. Don't run away from being the Dragon Queen. Embrace it! Embrace your powers like I did. I know I'm part demon now, but... My mind traveled to my own situation. Eventually the boys would leave and I would be alone, forced to chase after my dad's demands to be the CEO of Anderson Toy Company. I felt sympathetic towards the girl on the screen. Part of my mind was screaming for her to escape, for her not to ever have followed the path she was being forced on. Sadly, if things went her way, there would be no story, especially at the very beginning of the movie. I watched as the girl was taken and trained to become a queen. I found myself muttering in anger. Why are you still there? Seriously? Get out of there! You don't want to be the queen, right? Just get out and run away! I found myself getting frustrated. I wasn't truly yelling at a fictional character at screen. I was yelling at myself. Does this mean that all my Let's Plays and Let's Watches are just about me? About my own persona and ego? Oh my god! The whole world is flipped on its side! What's happening? Nah, I'm fine. So struck to gain approval of a man who wanted me to be the CEO of a company I barely had knowledge about. I gripped my fist and closed my eyes. Took a breath in and let go. After a silent moment, I looked back on the screen. The girl had found a handsome guy, and I couldn't help but smile. She looked happy, and seeing her found a glimmer of happiness in this situation was heartwarming. The movie continued, going through ups and downs and playing with my heart. At moments I laughed, at others I cried. At a major climatic moment of the movie, I started to bawl and had to pause the movie. Why? Why did that happen? Kenny! Clementine! Wait, that was a game, not a movie. Or was it? I went for a bet before shaking myself out and finishing the movie. For the ending wasn't what I expected, yet it neatly tied everything together, so I was content. That was good. One more movie. I wound up watching another movie until dinner. The remainder of the night passed by, surprisingly uneventful. The boys continued to train with each other, but we were kind enough to stop and make me dinner. I was glad for that. Hell yeah, what's for tonight, spaghetti? Unsurprisingly, the food was perfect, but it felt like empty without the boys to eat with me. Oh, come on! The most likely had already eaten, but still, I felt lonely. Nobody wants to eat with me, man! I couldn't let it bother me. I ate and went back to my room to study and sleep. Surprisingly, I felt good going to bed that night. I felt like I could have a peaceful sleep after the previous nights I had. It's alright. We still got our powers with us. It felt good. Yeah. I drifted to sleep and woke up almost fell asleep the next morning. No grogginess, no aches. Perfectly energized and bright-eyed. Man, how long has it been since I got that much good sleep? I looked at my alarm clock. I woke up 10 minutes before my alarm. Well, hey. Must be my lucky day. Karma owed me some luck today. After all I'd gone through in merely a handful of days, I deserved to get some good luck. Ecstatic for the day ahead, I turned off my alarm before I could ring and got dressed. However, my phone started to quickly buzz from an incoming text. Huh? Who texted me this early?
Yo, Anderson! You're carpooling with us from now on. We're not letting you waste your money on a bus. Get ready and be at your gate at 7 stat.
Deja vu. I smiled. My friends were the best. I couldn't drive yet. I checked the time. 6:30. Perfect. I could still eat some breakfast before they come. Packed my bag and carried it downstairs in the kitchen. I quickly made myself coffee and toast, not having time for anything big. I let out a soft sigh in happiness as I sipped my coffee. I felt great. I felt like nothing could stop me today. No kidnappings. I mean, I'm a magic, demon. I got all these powers. I'm rich. I'm gonna be the CEO of the company. Nothing's gonna stop me. Come at me, Day. I'm ready for you. I looked at the time. Time to go. Quickly rushed out the doors, checking myself in the passing mirror. I wasn't wanting to impress anyone, but I still needed to look decent. And right on cue, Naomi drove up to the gates with Suzu waving me down. I rushed out the door and we headed to school, talking about homework and the coming day. Made it to the school without a hitch. Our lockers were in the same part of the hall. First incident of the day. As I walked towards Susan and Naomi, who were both waiting on me in the opposite hall, something hooked my ankle and made me fall. Oh yeah, it's the one girl. It's the bully.
Hey, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's just the bully being possessed by a demon.
Who did that?
It's what's-her-face. Lizette, yeah. Lizette did it.
Why, you little...
It's okay.
Suzu, don't!
I'm gonna stare deep into her, soul. She was no friend, nor would she ever be. I had to do something. I'm gonna glare into your soul. Around Lizette was a dark purple aura that seemed all too familiar. It was like a demon magic, but something to be tamer. Wait a second. Is that the, yeah. That's the sexy chick. Why you doing that to Lizette, sexy chick? Whatever her name was, the lady who gave me my magic powers. My demon powers. As I continued to look at her, an aura grew, forming a shadowy behind Lizette. Yeah, it's you. It's you, Lizette.
Anderson,
I even see your dress.
all right?
Your dress here. Yeah, I'm fine. It's just, some crazy succubus gave me some demon powers. I'm trying to fit in at school, but she's possessing Lizette for whatever the hell reason.
Hey, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm good. We're gonna get to the bottom of this. Yeah, we're gonna be late for class. Suddenly I felt the need to walk away.
Sheesh, Anderson. You look like you saw a ghost.
Nah, I just discovered who was the ghost, that's all.
Are you really okay? That fall was pretty bad.
I'm good, it's just a knee.
Think she saw underneath Lisette's cake face and saw the devil itself.
You're pretty close, actually.
Oh, Suzu, hush!
Yeah, Suzu's right. There's something or someone watching over Lizette. Yeah, it's the succubus. Or they're watching me behind Lizette. A succubus. What they were doing, I didn't know, but it was definitely demonic. I would like to know how the succubus has so much power that she can give me more power than herself. But whatever. As the bell rang for school ended, I felt my phone vibrate. I ain't falling for that shit. No. You're just trying to kidnap me. Quickly headed to my locker and got my things before waiting for Naomi.
Hey, are you ready to go?
Yeah, let's leave. No, I don't want to go with Mr. Anderson. It's a trap.
Really? Okay, I guess that kind of makes sense.
It's
we'll
a
drive
trap.
home together next time. Tell your dad that we've got you covered from now on.
Alright. Eventually, no signal. Before I could finish, a group of hands grabbed my hands, feet, and covered my mouth. I screamed. I'm being kidnapped, guys.
Hey! Don't dirty up Malix's prey.
Yeah. Voice.
You're coming with me, Miss Anderson.
The name's Q. Get it right.
Nicely done! I'm sure those little shits will come running to find you when they realize you didn't return to your precious little mansion. They'll search everywhere for you.
Well, Malix, they didn't come for me last time. And I ended up discovering my own demon power potential, which is pretty damn sweet. And now that I'm unstoppable, and I've altered time, quite possible that, someone will come for me. Malix walked over and set the barrel of his gun against the skin between my eyes.
It'll be so funny when they find your dead body instead.
Actually, joke's on you, cause your gun's not gonna fire. But I'm gonna fight you instead. No way this is happening. No way it's gonna let myself be the victim of this. Gotta remember, what was in that book?
What are you whimpering? Are you praying that the boys will come and save you?
I kept grumbling, trying to remember and shut my eyes. Studying for a brief second wasn't enough to keep my spell on my mind, but I had to try something. Anything. All of a sudden, the air grew still and silent. I opened my eyes and looked around and gasped at the sight. Everything was frozen in time, as if the clocks had stopped, and everything had followed suit. What the? At first, I instantly wanted to move, but my feet were glued to the ground. I guess I couldn't change time and escape from where I was, but I was still lost. What was I supposed to do? Oh, it's Grandpa again. I'm skipping this. Sorry, guys. Whoa! I skipped way too fast. Whoops.
Well, I came here to clean up what the boys clearly forgot to clean. Men. So sloppy.
Well, I just accidentally skipped through everything, so how come nobody wants to hang out with me?
I mean erasing your memories, sweetie.
Yeah, I get that, and then you made me the Demon King, but I mean, come on. I mean, I know I was kind of a jerk, but nobody wants to be my friend?
The boys are gone, sweetie.
Seriously? I mean, nobody wants to be my friend? Oh. You're lying.
Am I? If you want to go see for yourself, you can. But I promise you'll be wasting your time.
Damn it. Boys wouldn't just up and leave without resting first, right? What do you mean, take my memories?
Well, we demons can't have just anyone knowing about us. You have to completely devote your soul to learning about us. And even then, it's not always guaranteed that you can be granted knowledge of us.
What makes me not deserve to know everything? I was attacked by devils. I found the boys in my house, wounded, and sheltered them. I think I deserve to remember these moments. Dinah let out a laugh, running a hand through her hair before looking back at me, amused.
You were attacked by a gang and were almost killed. You found 5 homeless men and let them stay in your home. There's nothing special about either of these instances.
Well, maybe. But I don't understand how this game is a dating simulator. And somehow, there's no dating going on. So, you know, I mean, I know I'm awesome. I know I'm the Demon Lord, and I appreciate that. But I would like I'd like a little fan service here for the fans, which is me, I guess, alone, pathetically by myself.
A human like you can't understand the rules. The boys themselves aren't even aware of the rules. They'll learn soon enough.
Anna flipped her hair before looking at me with a stern look.
Listen, sweetie. You're not going back to bed or leaving this house with those memories. I'm taking them from you, one way or another.
I don't think so, Diana.
And what do you plan to do with them, huh? Tell the press? Gossip to your friends that demons exist? Confess to your parents that you had demon servants and were almost killed by a devil gang?
Nah, but since I'm the demon lord and I can do whatever I want, doesn't really matter. And those memories are important to me because, I'm pathetic and I live alone by myself, no friends, so I just feel like socializing with fictional characters. What's the harm in that, Diana?
Open-minded or gullible?
Pretty gullible, but I don't really care.
There is nothing to learn from remembering the boys that won't bring trouble. I'm merely saving you from that. There are more than just demons who want to keep their existence a secret. There are many creatures in this world that don't want to be known of, and you remembering a small fragment is not acceptable to them without good reason. If you would have kept the boys, or at least had one of them around, they'd be a little more lenient to listen to your pleas. However, you're about to go into tomorrow without any of them around.
Yeah, it's kind of sad, actually. I don't know how that happened. Guess I'm not likable.
Look, I can kill you and no longer waste what little time I have, or I can erase your memories and go on with my life. I have more important things to do above arguing with you. Make a choice, sweetie. Give up your memories or be a demon snack.
I'm gonna fight you. I'm gonna fight you. I wasn't gonna let her win. I knew I could fight her. Began to pull on the hold on me roughly. My mind was fighting, but my body wasn't responding.
You still wish to fight?
Yeah, they're my memories, and I'm still the Demon Lord. So, be prepared to go down, Diana. Diana rubbed her temples before walking to me.
I've had enough of this.
Yeah, well, too bad. All of a sudden, Diana grabbed my head, making my mind black out. I felt large waves of energy zip from my body, and my mind touch her, but it intensified as Diana placed her lips on mine. Get off of me! I didn't kiss back. I didn't fight. I didn't do anything. I could only stare as she drained my body of energy. Oh no! My body began to go limp, and my mind grew insanely heavy. If it wasn't floating, I would surely be on the ground, passed out. How was she able to pull this much energy without doing anything more than kissing me? I will never know. Soon my whole body felt numb, and I felt like an empty spirit floating in midair. Diana slightly frowned at the sight.
Such a waste.
Diana ran a hand over my hair, twirling strand around her finger.
So long, sweetie.
Oh, don't kill me, man! Before I knew it, I was falling. She had let me go. I could only close my eyes. I didn't even feel a thing. Uh-oh. Well, that was lame. Let's do that again. I'm gonna explore the house. And I'm gonna try it. And, hey, guys, well, I'm trying to be friends with you here. I'm gonna make I'm gonna make sandwiches. Why not? And well, guess I'll go find one of the guys. And I guess I'll stay in my room. And I guess I'll watch a movie. And I'm gonna glare into your soul, I guess. And I'm gonna wait. And I'm gonna wait. And I'm gonna wait again. And I died. Okay. So, something's wrong here. Alright, I'm gonna go explore the house. I'm not gonna try it this time. Whatever. Whatever's there belonged to my grandfather. I don't give a shit. I closed the laptop and put it back in the drawer where it came from. Strangely, I felt a wave of relaxation wipe over me, making me sigh. Whatever happened was apparently good. I returned to bed, feeling the weight of the morning. Good night, people. I looked at my phone, trying to check the time again. It was noon, yet I felt like I'd slept for much longer. Why was time going so slowly? Sighed, got changed into my normal clothes, and went to the main hall, the stairs. However, a muffled sounds of battle caught my attention. All those sexy bastards fighting each other. Hey! What the hell, guys? You didn't come to save me last time. I mean, he killed me, and I had to turn myself into a demon just to, live. What the fuck's the matter with you? There's 5 of you. You couldn't even help me. What's the matter with you people? All at once the boys looked at me, frozen in their movements, as I just stood at the doorway, staring at them at my own outburst. James was the first to break away from the group, stepping towards me.
Good morning. We apologize if we woke you up.
You didn't wake me up. You didn't even care, guys. I was strapped to a chair. The guy had a gun to me, and he blew my head off. Come on. What
It's
the hell?
quite all right. We needed to stop anyway. We don't want to overwork Sam.
Oh, come on, I can handle.
Your mind seems...
Shut up, Damien.
Oh, crap.
Whoa, seriously?
You know what? I'm gonna make a pizza. I'm gonna make a pizza. Pizza's always good no matter what time of day it is. Do we have any? Luckily we had some pizzas in the freezer to heat up. Pizza d'amore is baked with pizza love. Had all the makings of pizza types, including pepperoni, sausage, mushrooms, and extra cheese. I just topped it, baked it, and served. I have to get more later. I placed the food in the dining room. However, none of the boys were there. What the hell, guys? I made all this food and you guys don't want to eat it? I don't understand. Oh, I'm just gonna eat my pizza myself. I decided against bothering them. They knew where the food was, so I was gonna go to my room instead, and I ate alone. It's not my problem. Turned on my computer. Well, last chance, guys. I'll just entertain myself. I guess I'll, play a video game. Plugged in the TV in my room. Old console grandfather bought me and conveniently kept it here. Worked on it. Suddenly grown at the idea of setting it up. Too many wires. I was bored though, and I craved to play some games. Maybe I should have went to the arcade. I sighed, stood up, began digging around the drawers and hidden areas of the room. Eventually I found it with a smile. There you are, beautiful. I ignored my lazy mental cries and set up the console, turning it on and seeing what game was in the console. Little Cause. I'd rather play Dungeon Era. Switched games and started up a new game. The premise: you were the dungeon keeper and you had to stop monsters from appearing in your dungeon or else you'd be destroyed. Beautiful storytelling. I was zipping my way through levels faster than I had imagined myself doing, so after years of not playing it, I watched as my dungeon keeper slashed through the monsters upon monsters with ease, yelling her battle cry before and each kill. Die, demon! I stopped. The monsters were demons? I watched as the monsters appeared on the screen and took swings at my dungeon keeper. They were indeed, for lack of a better word, monstrous. Leather-skinned spikes, pointed teeth, growls that defied human sound. The works. I couldn't help but laughing. Demons do not look like that, yeah. They're totally models. They're totally, hot and they all look funky, like some pop culture Japanese look. I don't know. I stopped as I heard those words coming out of my mouth. What was I saying? Really say that? Paused the game and rubbed my face with my hands. I cannot believe I actually said that. Out of pure instinct, I ejected the game and put in the little cause. Sci-fi. I need sci-fi. I needed to get back into reality. Shooting aliens would be the greatest force in space was, in my mind, more realistically accepting than slaying demons. Even the romance my character had with the alien crewmate appeased me. I let my brain just empty as I played my video game, all the way until my stomach growled for dinner. The remainder of the night passed by, surprisingly uneventful. The boys continued to train with each other, but were kind enough to stop and make me dinner. I was glad for that. Unsurprisingly, the food was perfect, but it felt a little empty without the boys to eat with me. They most likely had already eaten, but still, I felt lonely. Oh, come on, guys. Couldn't let it bother me. I ate and went back to my room, to study and sleep. Surprisingly, I felt good going to bed that night. Yeah. Drifted to sleep. Man. Who's texting me? Must be
Anderson,
Suzu.
you're carpooling with
Alright, I'm coming. Well... And up and walk away. Hey, that's new! I don't have to look deep into her soul anymore. I lost my powers! I'm gonna get her! I had enough. I felt the adrenaline rush through my body as I pounced off the ground and rushed into Lizette. I was not going to be the only one with scrapes this time. I tackled Lizette to the ground, swiping and slapping her innocent face. She screamed in fright before trying to push me off and block my attack.
Holy shit! Anderson! Stop it!
I've gone crazy! I'm part demon. Nobody wants to be my friend. I'm just running around in circles getting kidnapped by devils. I wasn't listening anymore. I had my carnal need to get revenge. And take as I began to pull at Lizette's hair to get a better aim at her face with my free hand. I had enough of bullying, the wounds, the insults. All of this was gonna burn in the past as I scraped my nails across Lizette's face over and over. My rebellion would be marked on her pretty face for all to see. Lizette pushed me off and scrambled her feet, both panicked and angry at the same time. Her emotion was nowhere close to the anger I was feeling.
Are you crazy? What the hell?
I'm part demon, baby! I stood up very slowly, glaring daggers into Lizette's soul through her eyes. I must have had some sort of monster behind me, or maybe I looked like a monster myself. But the gaggle of girls, Lizette, and even my friends had a look of pure terror on their faces. I've had enough of you, Lizette. You obviously won't stop unless I fight back. Well, guess what? You're gonna get it, girl. Unleash the demon within! I charged at Lizette a second time, shoving her hard against the lockers. She let out a yelp of pain as she smacked at the back of her head against the metal behind her. Before glaring and shoving me back, I stumbled back. Lizette raised her hands, ready to fight.
Then come on, Anderson. Show me what you've got. I bet it's not much.
I'm part demon. I'm gonna kick your ass. I felt myself snarl in anger before raising my own fist. Remembering my taekwondo, I quickly snapped onto one leg raised and a leg to get a swift kick at her, while she blocked her arm and stepped towards me to jab at me. Oh yeah? Cross counter, baby! Yeah, training. Not surprising. I didn't care at that moment. I bent back from the incoming jab, re-established my balance as much as I placed both feet on the floor, as that threw a jab upon me, forcing me to go block my torso and face my arms and hands. Hit for hit, Lizette and I exchanged and defended blows at each other. It was indeed more than a cat fight. This was a vengeful duel! In my mind, all I saw was Lizette, and I wanted to make her stop if I meant beating her down. Then, it had to be done. Demon style. We eventually gained a small crowd of people, and silent but observing the fight, my anger intensified, and my hits became harder with each second that passed between us. I couldn't let her win. I couldn't let her win! None of the Lizette girls dared to step in, apparently afraid of seeing our skills as individual fighting styles. Suzu was held back by Otome's arms despite both of them wanting to help me. It didn't wait long for it to end, though. Suddenly, Lizette was pulled away from me, and I pushed against the lockers by a strong force. Lizette hit the lockers as well as the opposite end of the hallway, letting out a girly grunt of pain. Who are you people? I looked up to see my art teacher, Mrs. Gordon, holding me against the lockers with a look of surprise and serious concern on her face.
Miss Anderson, what are you doing?
You don't understand, man. I became a demon, and then I came back and got my face blown off. I had to endure all this bullshit with my family, and nobody wants to be my friend. I'm surrounded by hot, sexy demons. I like to see Lizette being held back by Miss Phillips starting to cry innocently. Oh, shut up. I knew what was going to come out of her mouth, so I tried to push Miss Gordon off to confront Miss Gordon, however, kept an arm wrapped around me, keeping me back. Don't you dare start crying, Lizette! You started this!
Miss Anderson, get a hold of yourself!
No, she tripped me. And she's possessed by a succubus. I couldn't stop the angry tears running down my face as I shouted across the hallway. Lizette and Miss Phillips started in shock at my screams as Miss Gordon tightened her hold on me. I'm so sick of it! Leave me alone! Eventually I lost my energy and began to weigh down on Miss Gordon's arms, letting my sadness take over and quench my anger with tears. Swelling pain, I could feel Miss Gordon hug me to her to keep me upright as Lizette sniffled and confided it with Miss Phillips.
I didn't do anything to her. She just attacked me all of a sudden.
Lies!
That's a lie, Lisette. You tripped her on purpose. You've always been a snobby prick to us.
Yeah, Suzu, you tell.
Never! I gave my condolences about her grandfather's death. I try to keep everyone calm. Is that so wrong?
You didn't even sound sincere. We know you were only pretending to be nice to spite us.
Enough. Miss White, follow me to the dean's office.
Lizette followed, wiping her eyes. In the feigned innocence she knew how to play up. I had remained still in Miss Gordon's arms, unable to bring myself to fight to get Lizette again. I already broke her spirit. I had done my damage. The gaggle of Lizette wannabes would make sure I became infamous around the school. I didn't care. I made my statement on Lizette's face and body, and I wasn't afraid to do it again. Miss Gordon, however, wasn't done with me.
Come with me, sweetie.
Oh, don't undermine me. I nodded and followed. My friends frowned as they watched me leave, but they had to class without me. Miss Gordon led me to an empty classroom, which she had claimed as hers. It looked like all the other classrooms, but art posters lined the walls. I don't see no friggin' art posters. Many students loved the room, but hated one thing, the mirror in the very back of the room. It was the one thing Miss Gordon loved to use against her students. With it, she was able to see who was using their phones and who was actually studying. Miss Gordon led me to the back of the room and sat down in front of it.
What do you see?
I see a demon girl who traded her soul for power because my memories were going to get taken away. So I was like, you know what? Fuck you guys, I'm going to be a demon. And then I was lonely. I came back. Then I died. Then I came back again. And I'm still lonely. Miss Gordon, I'm still lonely. Even with all my power, what good will it do when you have no one to use it with?
Tell me what you see.
I just told you, Miss Gordon. I looked in the mirror and saw myself. My clothes were a little ruffled from the fight, but beyond that, I just saw me. Nothing about it seemed different than normal, except for my demon horns and purple tattoos.
Alright. What else?
My ultimate wealth, and my, career as a CEO.
Do you know what I see?
No?
I see a brilliant woman who has been working her butt off to try and find herself. She just has a little bit of adversity in her way.
A little? A little? I'm not gonna argue with you.
Listen, don't think about Lisette right now. She's just another student who doesn't know what you're going through.
Well, duh. But, I mean, she was possessed by the succubus lady, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna beat the shit out of her so that way the succubus lady doesn't try messing with me at night while I'm asleep. throwing me into that pit of whatever, oblivion in the demon realm. Unbelievable. Stared at myself in the mirror, unable to tear my eyes away. She was right, but I still lingered on what happened to Lizette. I know Miss Gordon was only trying to help, but I couldn't find the thoughts in my head. Miss Gordon gently rubbed my shoulders, stopping me from my thoughts. I looked up to see her smile, down, at me through the mirror.
You know, those were some pretty interesting moves. Taekwondo?
Hell yeah. Demon style.
You'll have to show me one day.
Well, I'd have to bring you to the demon realm. Or my mansion.
Look, don't let Lisette get to you, okay? You have your own battles to face, and you can face them just fine. Instead of fighting Lisette, focus on your goals.
I did, and I became demon of the demon realm. The lord of the demon realm, and I was just bored, lady. I just wanted to have some fun with some friends. And no one wants to hang out with me. I even made a fucking pizza. Like, I tried making nutritious sandwiches with avocados and shit, but then I defaulted to pizza, because I thought, hey, everybody likes pizza. And still nobody came. I was just playing games and watching movies by myself. Looked up her and nodded silently. It's cliche to hear, but she was telling the truth. I need to focus on myself first. I did, woman. I did, and it got me nowhere. Oh, she gave me a small packet of tissues and told me that she would be able to handle Lizette. Fear about my family learning about this had quickly appeared but vanished when she promised to keep me out of it as much as she could.
Everything will be fine now. You're a good student, so I'll let you off with a severe warning. Just don't get into any more fights, okay? Now, head to class.
I don't know if I can do that, because you see I got these devils that are after me, and I keep getting strapped to a chair and nobody's coming to my rescue. I have to either become demon or die. So, yeah. Surprisingly, the rest of the school day went off without another incident. I went to class, had lunch, and was anxious to get home. Oh, god damn it. Is it my Mr. Anderson again? Alright. I'll just get kidnapped again.
Hey, are you ready to go?
No, Naomi, I'm gonna get kidnapped.
Really? Okay, I guess that kind of makes sense.
No, it doesn't, Suzu. It really doesn't.
We'll drive home together next time. Tell your dad that we've got you covered from now on.
There won't be a next time, Naomi, because I'm gonna get kidnapped and possibly killed. See you later. Well, time to get kidnapped.
Hey! Don't...
Oh, shut up.
Look.
Whatever. Take me home, country road.
Nicely done! I'm sure those little shits will come running to find you when they realize you didn't return to your precious little mansion. They'll search everywhere for you.
Are you sure? Because they didn't come all those other times, Malik. How many times we're gonna keep doing this, kid? Come on.
It'll be so funny when they find your dead body instead.
Ha ha ha. I'll just sit here and wait.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yep.
Well, she either has the barrier spell on her, or you're losing your power.
Shut up! I'm not losing shit! This little brat must have that spell on her! I said, shut up!
Oh, beast. You just killed your own man. What the fuck, man?
Anyone else wanna laugh at me? Huh?
Well,
as I was saying, it must be some holy magic or some shit like that. Eris.
alright. I'm gonna attack you now. So, yeah.
What are you whimpering? Are you praying that the boys will come and save you?
They're not coming, Malix. They're not coming. I closed my eyes and took a breath before snapping up to one leg and sweeping my foot across Malix's face. Ha!
Oh!
Malix flew to the side and rolled, rubbing his cheek in complete shock. I could feel Eris step back away from me, leaving me to look at Malix and shake out a foot from the hit. Malix quickly hopped up and growled at me. I was surprised but irritated beyond belief.
You little bitch! You think you're tough, huh?
Yeah, I am.
I'll show you your place. Come here!
Oh yeah? Come at me, bro! Malix charged at me, dropping the gun that would ever hurt me to the floor and reached for my face. However, I quickly crouched down and swept my leg in front of me, knocking Malix down once again. Take that! I rolled back away from the fallen devil, and glared as I rolled up, back to my feet. Just because I'm a human doesn't mean I can't kick your ass. Actually, I'm not really human, I'm still a demon. I placed my hands in front of me before sliding over to Malix and slamming the tip of my foot against his head. One of the devils around tried to step in, but Eris held out her arm, stopping them.
No! Stay out of it! Let Malix deal with it!
Yeah, he's gonna get his ass kicked. As commanded, the devils surrounded us, stood away from the fight. The group watched us as we were lost in intrigue, and I stood up against their teacher. I continued to kick Malix, who tried to block my attack with his arms. I brought in my foot before slamming it down onto Malix's chest. Definitely heard a rib crack or two by the impact, causing Malix to lose his breath. What I didn't expect him was to grab my leg, pulling out from under me. Oh, you cheap bastard! I fell to the ground, landed with a loud thud. Ugh! I felt the pain shoot up my arm, and run throughout my body. The impact had on the ground. I tried to push off, but the pain forced me to stay down. Malix took the chance to roll up on top of me and pin me down, glaring and smirking down at me evilly. As I tried to get him off, the futility of the situation dawned on me. I was fighting a devil. I was just a human that turned into a succubus. It wasn't magical, nor was I special. I wasn't gonna beat him.
It's useless, woman. You're as good as dead. Bet you regret trying to fight me in the first place now.
I don't regret. I'm gonna kick your ass, Malix. Oh, for the love of God. Please someone find me, I prayed. I hoped that I wouldn't have to keep fighting. I was becoming desperate. Nah, we're good.
You have major balls trying to fight me. You're not even a man. You're a puny woman who's about to get what's coming to
What
her.
the fuck does that mean, Malix? What made everyone in the warehouse drop our fighting faces was the screech of police sirens. Malix smirked even wider.
It's time to have fun, boys. Make sure you kill them all.
Not on my watch. Up.
Eris, what are you doing?
Enough, Malix! We've wasted enough time in this stupid town. I'm getting out of here, and I'm taking the rest with me.
I don't know whether to laugh or not. I bet my tongue as Malix got angry again.
Like hell you are. Boys, do as I say, or else.
None of the boys moved. Eris snapped her fingers again. And everyone left.
Malix, it's over. You can't even beat a human girl. You're losing your powers.
Shut your mouth!
Malix summoned his gun to his hand and shot multiple times at Eris, who somehow managed to teleport away from him. She shook her head, letting out a sigh, before grabbing Malix at the neck and pulling him off me. Malix started to choke as Eris stared coldly at him.
All this for a bunch of pretty boys. You must be stupid and desperate.
Eris looked up to me, making me tense up.
Human, I suggest heading home to your pretty boys. You don't want to get involved in a supernatural investigation. It's a pain in the ass.
Well, I've already become a demon, I've already died several times, and none of the boys like me, so I don't really care.
You really think women are weak? Let me fix that, sweetie.
Yeah, you're getting it, Malix. And with that, Eris vanished into the shadows, taking Malix with her. As I was left alone, the police siren stopped. I looked over to the open passage to see the incubi with a large police siren megaphone stared at me in surprise.
Where is he? I swear I'm gonna...
You are late again, Sam. Screw you. Back to the doghouse. It was also surreal. I was helped by a devil. Again. I fought to stay alive, and there I was. The boys tried to question me, but James cleared his throat, catching the attention of his brothers and me.
Let's just get you home, miss. There's nothing more to see here.
I'm sick of this place. And we walked back home. There was no way in hell I was going to find out about... There was no way in hell anyone was going to find out about this. It was over. Malix was gone and the boys were finally safe. A wave of relief ran through my body as the thought of never having to deal with that group again. At the same time, a pang of realization hit the back of my mind. The boys were only going to stay until after Malix was defeated. That was our deal. As we approached home, I could feel something heavy weigh down my heart. It was late, but the boys led me inside and turned the lights in the lobby.
Finally, we can relax.
I really hope so, Mateo.
It will be good to have some rest without devils breathing down our necks.
I'm just tired. Can I hit the hay early?
I think some sleep would be good for all of us.
Hmm.
I looked to Damien, knowing he could read my mind, and frowned. Well, I guess they're gonna leave me, and I'm gonna have to go back to the demon world again. Alright.
Should we be gone in the morning?
I really don't want you to leave, but for some reason Q does. The air became still with tension. The realization of the situation hit the boys like a wave, forcing them to turn to me in curiosity. They had remembered their deal, and now are waiting for me to decide their fate. However, I knew my answer. I couldn't keep them here. I couldn't. Oh, come on, Q. Why can't I decide? Why can't you let me pick? You're just gonna... Come on, Q. That's not fair. I wanted to have a little fun in the game, and you totally just don't want anyone around? That's
Then we will
sad.
be gone before you wake, miss. Thank you for letting us stay here as long as we
Well, thanks for harassing me for a bit and making me dinner. It was nice.
It was a pleasure to have served you, beautiful lady.
I guess this is finally goodbye, Eric.
I guess this is goodbye.
Yeah, I think so too,
Yeah.
Sam. Well,
Good one.
you too.
Thank you for having us, miss. Maybe we'll see each other again.
Well, I don't think so, Mateo. I think this is the end, finally.
Goodbye.
Bye, Damien. I liked you the most, I think. I don't know, either you or James. The guy with the glasses. But, nice meeting you. Hope you understand. Apparently I'm a terrible date, so see you later. Have a good life out in the woods. My life will return to normal, I think. Learning of this made me more open-minded. And I went to sleep. Yep. Or so I had hoped. Not you again.
You are an interesting creature.
Lady, for the love of cripes, leave me alone.
No screaming now. Why do the boys like you?
Do they? Because
unique,
everyone's gone,
That
and
can't be.
I don't know, man.
Ooh, you're feisty. That could be why.
Okay. Here we go. Gotta go back to the demon world, I guess.
I am. Silly girl.
Well, Diana,
But you seem very...
send me back.
Well, I came here to clean up what the boys clearly forgot to clean. I mean... The boys are gone? Am I? You were attacked by a gang and were almost killed. A human like... Listen.
Well, when I fought, I died. When I made a deal with her, I became a demon. And, I just give up my memories. So just take them, because they're not worth keeping, I guess. I remember the way the boys helped me organize the house party and helped me home after Malix's ordeal. Then I remembered I'm only human. I wasn't a demon. I wasn't special. The world of magic was too large for me. I already had one world to face without magic being involved. I felt the wave of sadness run through me, replaying the memories of all that had happened the past few days, one last time before speaking up. Fine. Take my memories. Couldn't keep them. They were beyond my world, beyond what I needed to know. I never meant to know of them. Diana nodded.
Glad you understand now.
I don't, Diana. Fit beast below me closed its jaws, vanishing, till nothing as I was lowered to the ground. I stood up straight and looked to Diana, resolved. Diana sighed before closing her hand and muttering Latin phrases and all that nonsense. What is that?
A memory potion. It will remove all of the memories of demons and magic from your mind. With the memories gone, you can live your life as free as you want.
I guess so. What about the boys?
I have a spell for them. As soon as you drink that potion, you sign your contract with me, and I will take the boys back to where they belong.
Will they remember me?
I'll make sure they won't. They won't even remember ever thinking about coming to the human world.
Oh, that's just terrible. That's a horrible ending. Why didn't you use it before? Why do I have to drink it knowingly?
Because demon magic isn't black and white, dear. The one catch is that the potion has to be drunk with full natural consent. So I can't just slip it into your chocolate milk or pour it into your mouth as you sleep. That's the downside of good succubus magic.
That's horrible. So I'll be...
plain, boring human. No potential, no abilities, no memories to even have abilities. You'll be a plain Jane girl in a plain Jane world.
That's horrible. My memory in exchange for my humanity. I popped the cork of the vial, brought it to my lips. Goodbye, magic. Goodbye, demons. Goodbye, seduce me, Otome. Hello, boredom, and sadness, and loneliness. Tilted my head back and chugged the drink down, feeling its magic already starting to work. Felt dizzy and sick, but I sucked down all the liquid. I felt the memories of the boys fade away. I never met them in my house when I moved in. I was never attacked by Malix or his goons. I was never kidnapped. Never met Diana. Finished drinking. Felt my body grow weak, almost becoming unable to continue standing up. My vision was blurred and fuzzy. I couldn't help but let my eyes shut. I asked for this. Not really. I wouldn't have the boys protecting me anymore. Didn't even open my eyes when I finally fell forward into Diana's arms.
It's for your own good, sweetie. Forget about it and be normal.
I don't want to be normal. I like my wacky self.
I'm sorry.
No, you're not. There are no demons or devils or magic to drive me crazy. Everything was normal, everything was peaceful, everything was ordinary. The way Diana wanted. The way I didn't want it. Eventually the morning arrived and the sun streamed to get up. Stretched out and quickly got dressed, getting ready for school. I went over in my mind what happened over the weekend, suddenly feeling wary. I had moved in Friday night, held a house party Saturday, and enjoyed my day Sunday. Yep, sounds about right. I scooped up my bag and headed downstairs in the dining room. The room was empty and I felt hungry. I needed to eat something. Made myself some quick toast and coffee. Needing a jump start, I felt drained and didn't want to fall asleep in class. Something bothered me, though. My house felt empty, or at least emptier. Couldn't put my finger on it, but slightly bothered me. Finished my food and quickly rushed out the door. Naomi's car. Avoided talking about what happened yesterday. I'll be riding with you guys from now on, and from school. As we entered school, we quickly gathered our things from our lockers and we headed to class. There was no events, to my surprise. Naomi and Suzu took their seats around me, Suzu in front of me, Naomi beside me, before the class bell rang and the class was greeted by our own teacher. History wasn't as boring as economics, but I still managed to space out that class just the same. Decided to keep my eyes to my notebook. I began to scribble random doodles, some which stuck out to me more than others. I had somehow managed to doodle a small bear with a heart on its stomach. I cracked a small smile at the image, imagining the heart light up on my paper as I pressed the eraser of my pencil on it. I remembered what had happened the last week, slowly frowning at the memories of my grandfather. Guess it was still hard to let him go. Lose someone is never easy, but I knew that moping and letting his memory get me wouldn't do any good. I felt, though, that he was watching over me, as stupid as it may sound. Felt that somehow safe. It was okay to not focus on school or my future and just live in my own little world. I'd be a little girl and draw pictures instead of plan out the rest of my life. Be perfectly happy. Sadly, I knew that wasn't realistic. Graduation was slowly coming up, and my mind had wandered into the future once again. What was I gonna do? It's hard to think about it at this rate. I just wanted to wing it. No decisions had to be made ahead of time in my little world. No disappointments would come out of whatever I decided to do with my little world. Hell, maybe I had found a perfect magical love in my little world and in life and turn out like a dream. It was sad to think that my world wasn't real, yet my heart still wished that it was. It gently squeezed inside my chest, almost convincing me that magic could be real. My mind knew better. I let out a small sigh, letting the little world hide away in my thoughts as the class bell rang. Naomi and Suzu smiled at me, making me feel a little better. At least I still had my friends. Quickly gathered my things and left my next class. My life became a blur. I was once again surrounded by people moving faster than myself as I walked around my life in slow motion. I felt that I could stop and the world would continue moving in high speed. Memories of my childhood haunted me throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month. Then I let my entire last semester pass me, and I was on the cusp of graduating. I never felt more nervous about life. What would happen after I touched my diploma? Would real life just sweep me away? Would I be left alone in a void of my own doing? Hard to say. Started at graduation forms covering my dining room table, unable to process all the information on them. I've got to graduate. My mind settled into a hushed rumble at the thought of graduating. I was nervous, excited, worried, bored, anxious, and angry all at once. What was I gonna do? Where was I gonna go after all this was over? What was in my future? And why did my house feel so empty? I sighed and put my forehead against the wood of the table. My head began to spin, and I needed it to stop. Closing my eyes, I counted my heartbeat as it pounded in my head. What broke my concentration was my doorbell ringing. I lifted my head, walked over into the lobby, and opened the door. Who is it?
It's your father.
My hand froze at the doorknob. Why was he here? I could practically feel the incoming lecture we were about to have emanating from the cracks of the door. I felt my nervousness take hold of my emotions, and I simply stood there, staring at the frosted glass door, my dad's finger. What is it?
I wanted to talk to you. It's important.
I opened the door, ushering him in. There was no use denying the inevitable. Father stepped in and looked around the lobby, like an investigated health inspector. I couldn't help but press my lips together in irritation. What did he want to talk about?
You've kept the place clean. Good.
Thank you.
I want to talk about your future.
Great. What about it? I'm gonna graduate and go to college.
That's not what I meant. I meant about you being part of Anderson Family Toys.
I stared. Was he serious right now? Did he really want to add another stress point in my life? I felt myself glare out of pure irritation with the topic. What about it?
Do you want to be part of the company?
Was he seriously asking this? Was I getting an opinion? This had to be a test. This couldn't be real. You said I was to be...
I said, do you want to be part of the company?
Felt my mind go blank. Did I want to be part of the company? This chance was real. This is my only chance to do what I wanted without expectation over my head. I wanted to be free. I wanted to fly high and find my own path of life. If that was really a future with the company, I would be taken there on my own choice, not on the command of my father. If my future took me far away, then I wanted that chance to go. No, I don't.
May I ask why?
I don't want to choose my own future. I don't want to be stuck to expectation. I felt my mind begin to fill with ideas of the future, dreams and goals that I could possibly fulfill with my new freedom. Wanted to decide what to do with my life. If it's the Anderson family toys, then I want my heart to bring me there. My heart tensed in fear. Was he going to scold me? Was he going to be happy? What was he going to do? His sigh almost frightened me to death.
You should do what makes you happy.
What? Did he really? Dad?
I'll admit, I've been harsh on you. I thought that me pushing you would make you confident to take the family company. With you being in this place, though, I was worried that you'd turn out as curious as your grandfather.
Why did you send me here?
Because I wanted to see what you would do if you weren't constantly under my influence.
My dad placed a hand on my head and rubbed it gently as I stared up in confusion at him.
Looking at you now, I see a grown woman, ready to take on the world. I deeply regret not being the dad I was supposed to be.
Suddenly I felt my dad pull me into an embrace, burying his head in my shoulder. I stared wide-eyed over his shoulder, unable to take in what was happening. Was he hugging me for real? Was he seriously in regret?
I should have let you be a kid a little while longer. Now that you're grown up, I can't guide you anymore.
Began to shake. This was real. This had to be. This was too emotional to be a dream. I gripped onto my dad, making sure my senses weren't lying to me.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Dad pulled back slightly and gently moved a strand of my hair from my face, smiling at me.
I love you, sweetie.
Then I broke. The world finally was able to freeze completely as I held onto my dad and cried into his shoulder. I let my mind completely empty and fill itself with memories of my dad and me. He used to be kind, he used to care. Something that Dad away from me, and now he was back. Something took Dad away from me, and now he was back. I could feel his love for me as he held me close and let me cry into his shoulder. He finally said, "I love you." Daddy.
My baby girl. I'm so proud of you.
I leaned completely into my dad's embrace as he supported me to stand. I felt like a little girl again. It was both pathetic and blissful. I don't care. I was with my dad. My dad gently pulled away and kissed my forehead, letting me hiccup with a small sigh.
No matter how old you are, you'll always be my little girl. I may have screwed up your childhood, but let me make it up to you in the future.
Nodded, wiping my eyes. I finally could have a dad who didn't see me as an investment, but saw me as a daughter. My heart was jumping in my chest in joy, while my mind filled with happy thoughts. Felt like I could do anything now. My dad rustled my hair a bit before stepping away from me.
Now, I have to take your mom out to dinner. It's been a while since we've gone out, but I think it's time to apologize to her as well.
For what?
For being a burden she had to carry. She's always supported you from the sidelines, but I didn't let her completely be a wife and mother. It's time to make her happy now.
Dad and I smiled at each other. We understood each other now, and I was happy beyond words. My dad left my house. Not completely alone. I knew that he would support me now with whatever I wanted to do. Smiled and held my hands close to my chest, feeling my heart pulse. Be okay.
Yes, you will be.
Quickly turned to the voice to see a woman dressed in black and gold dress, smiling at me. It was as if she appeared from out of thin air and went into defense mode. Who are you?
Relax, relax. I'm just passing by.
What do you mean? How did you get in here?
You don't need to know that. I only came here to pick up a little something, and then I'll be gone.
What are you? With a snap of the woman's fingers, I suddenly felt myself get warm. This feeling was familiar, but I couldn't pinpoint how. What was she doing to me? I watched as the woman walked to me and gently lifted my chin to look at my face with a smile.
A kiss for the road, sweetie. I had to do a lot of running around, and it's made me need a pick-me-up.
No, get lost. Felt myself nod. What the fuck? Come on, Q. What was I doing? The woman smiled and gently lowered her face to kiss me. Felt like melting into the kiss, but I knew deep inside that this was beyond wrong. How was she doing this? Why was she doing this? I felt my strength and energy drain from the kiss as soon as I felt my legs slightly wobble into weakness. The woman pulled away and placed a small purple vial in my hand.
Drink up, sweetie. You need it.
Nodded and opened the vial before pouring its contents into my mouth. It was sweet, like fruit. But it wasn't overpowering, and I felt my energy return to my body. The last drop that dripped onto my tongue. Huh? What?
A gift from me, as a thank you for giving me the strength to finally take what is mine.
What is yours? The woman smiled before nodding to me and walking around me to the door. As she opened it and took a step out, she looked back to me.
Praeteritorium poscunt, corrige algurium, delir memoria, liberaret I am.
She closed the door behind her. I suddenly felt my mind go back to being happy. What just happened? Oh right, my dad just left. I felt more confident than ever, and I knew that I could take on anything. I rushed over to the dining room and looked over at the graduation papers with a small smirk. I can do this. Eventually my graduation came along. I walked across the school stage and took hold of my diploma with grace. The rest of the story could almost be passed over. I graduated from school as one of the top 10 students of my class. My family was proud. What of my future? Well, that was free for me to decide now. No longer would I have the future scaring me into a corner. I could choose my life of my own. That being said, I was still scared of where the future was going to take me. What did I want to do? Did I want to help build the family company? Did I want to venture off on my own? Whatever I was going to do it with a smile on my face. I was happy, and nothing could shake me down from that happiness. Next morning I woke up and took in all that had happened, as if it was all a dream. My life seemed to fall perfectly into place. It was almost surreal. I walked over to my balcony window and opened it, stepping onto the patio and staring into the sky. It was beautiful. The wind gently brushed over my face as I took in the smell of the morning. I felt a wave of confidence rush through my body, and I stared into the sky. I'll be fine. I'll be just fine. I was confident that I could do anything now. My life was in my hands, and I was strong enough to carry it. I was alone for now, yes, but eventually I knew I would be happy at the end of my journey. Still had 100 battles to face, 1,000 memories to make, 1,000,000 stories to write. This was just one of those stories. And that was my happily ever after. And my freedom. That was horribly depressing.
Innocent.
Well, that was depressing. I much preferred being the demon lord of the demon realm. But damn it! None of these guys want to hang out with me! Alright, one last time, just for old time's sakes. I'm gonna go make some coffee. I need to wake my shit up. Why not? Haven't had coffee in forever. Got out of bed and made my way to the kitchen, unconcerned that I was in pajama pants and a tank top. I rummaged through the cabinets for coffee machine and makings for coffee. Surely my grandfather had some. French press. Better than oven. As I began to make coffee, I checked my emails and texts on my phone. No new important emails, no text messages. I sighed. I quickly made my coffee. It's like how I liked it, sat on the counter. Then I began to wonder. Will this happen every day? I let the question linger in my mind. For a whole morning, I didn't think about. Once the boys or Malik's, everything was peaceful. Everything was average. Nothing magical or dangerous or unusual. Simply drank my coffee as I let the thoughts marinate in the back of my mind. I returned to bed, feeling the weight of my morning drag me under my covers. To try sleeping again. I had energy, but I wanted more sleep. It was Sunday and nothing was happening today. Come on, eyes, back to sleep. Shut my eyes and tried to slow my breathing. Why is time going so slowly? Sighed, got changed into my normal clothes, and went out into the main hall and sat on the stairs. Sundays were very boring. Hey! All the boys looked at me.
Good morning. We apologize if we woke you up.
No, it's fine. I've been awake for a while now. Sorry if I interrupted.
It's quite alright. We needed to stop anyway. We don't want to overwork Sam.
Oh, come on, I can handle more than those pity punches.
Your mind seems grateful that we've stopped.
Shut up, Damien.
Oh crap, we should probably make some lunch. I'm sure you're...
I'll make some rice. Gotta keep their energy and strength up with proteins. Took my time to make a perfect black bean vegan patty, along with some rice. Cooking wasn't hard unless you didn't know what you were doing in the first place. Placed the food in the dining room. Everyone left me alone. I gotta go find one of those guys. Quickly rushed back and grabbed the second dish before hunting down one of them. And I couldn't find anybody. What the fuck, man? Well, what should I do? I guess I could go to, I'll go back to the grave, and I'll talk with the one dude. You're fine, Andrew. Thank you. Very sweet of him to wait for me, so I accepted his ride home. Andrew smiled before heading back to the gates. I remained with my grandfather. Sure you're laughing wherever you are, Grandpa. Practically glared at the grave, but after a brief second I smiled. He's a sweet guy and a big fan of yours. Who wouldn't be? He cared for everyone, no matter who they were. Don't be surprised, chuckled softly before standing. I'll be fine, Grandpa. Andrew's a good guy, but who knows? Shrugged before letting out a sigh and turned back at the cemetery gate, where Andrew awaited me. Andrew led me to his car and drove me home. I went to my room and remained there until dinner. The remainder of the night passed, and I was gonna walk away. I don't care. No, wasn't gonna bring myself to her level. She was a bully. Not gonna let her get to me. I had to be stronger than her, and the only way to do that was to walk away. stood up and brushed myself off, pretending nothing had happened.
Anderson, you okay?
No, I'm not, Suzu. I can't land a date in a dating simulator, Suzu. You don't understand what that means.
That was a pretty bad fall.
I'm fine. I think. Come on, we'll be late for history. Suzu flipped her off with her middle finger, and we walked
Friggin'
away.
bunch of Lisette feet lickers.
That's gross, Suzu.
Yeah.
It's true. It's all OMG! Lisette is the best! Let's follow her around because we obviously don't have lives.
It's so true, Suzu. You did that perfectly. Naomi and I could not help but laugh. The group behind us, however, did not like Suzu's words.
At least my dad doesn't screw around in the black market to keep a stupid casino running.
Suzu stopped. Naomi and I had stopped as well to look back at Suzu, who was completely red in anger. Suzu slowly turned and headed to the group, glaring daggers at them.
Fuck did you just say?
Uh-oh, Suzu! Suzu! Think of a happy place, Suzu! Think of a happy place! I had to act fast. I placed my hand on Suzu's shoulder and gripped tightly, knowing that she could try to push my hand away. Suzu, they're not worth it. Let's just go!
No, I think it's about time we taught them some manners.
Uh-oh.
Suzu.
I looked at Lizette and her group. Lizette had a widely amused smile on her face, which irked me to no end. Nevertheless, I knew that fighting wasn't going to get us anywhere. Let's go! I grabbed Suzu by the shoulder roughly, pulling her back to Naomi and me. Suzu tried to step forward to the group, but Naomi held onto her with her shoulder. We held onto Suzu, who fought against our hands as we marched to class. Surprisingly, the rest of the school days went off without another incident. I went to my classes, had lunch, and was anxious to get home. As my bell rang for school to end, I felt my phone vibrate in my pocket. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, not you. Uh-oh. I gotta fight you. Yeah, fuck you.
What are you whimpering? Are you...
Yeah. Uh-oh. Seriously? I'm always destined to be... I guess I'm always destined to be the Demon Lord.
What? You're wasting my time.
What happens if I click her? I don't want to end up... Please don't make this sexual. Please don't make this sexual. I'm just curious. I'm just curious. Can I be curious? Am I allowed to be curious, people? I don't want it to be sexual, though. Is she gonna kill me if I say this? I'm just gonna click it out of curiosity.
Me? Are you serious? What do you mean, me?
You can be my bodyguard. I looked at Dan again. She was indeed scary, but she was so gorgeous and somehow she interests me. Oh no! Oh no! 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 I don't want to. No. More so than the boys. Oh no! Oh no! I mean, you're staying with me for a little while. I want to get you knowing the rules that you're talking about.
A human wanting to know more about a demon and the rules.
Yeah, we're just gonna talk.
You're
We're
really
just gonna
trying to step over your place, especially if you'll be losing those memories in the end.
I mean, I'll give you my memories and energy if you just stay for a couple of days. A day even. It'll be worth it.
Completely willingly?
No?
And if you don't fulfill your end of the bargain?
Well, you can feed me to your pit beast. Did I say that out loud? Uh-oh. I meant keeping my memories for a little longer. And yes. Dana looked at me, scanning my body with her eyes for signs of false intent. I didn't have any, so Dana sighed and snapped her fingers again. The demon below me vanished, and I was slowly lowering to the ground. I looked to Diana in surprise.
You are very lucky demon magic is so finicky.
Oh, okay. Well, what do you mean?
Why do you think demons make deals with humans like you?
I don't know. Good. That's an excellent question. Why did you give me all those demon magic powers earlier? I wasn't sure. Demons were still new to me. I heard stories of people making deals. Damn aside.
It's one thing to take your memories or your energy. It's another for you to willingly give it. We get more for our effort if the one we make a deal with is willing.
So, if I make a deal with you, you get more energy?
Think of it like sex.
I don't
if
want
I'm
to think about
aroused
that.
and you're willing to open your legs for me,
No!
I'll get pleasure. I'll enjoy it. You might
Oh my
enjoy
god,
it.
woman!
And it's done.
Holy shit! I don't want to have sexy time with you, Diana. I'm sorry. Okay, I know you keep sneaking in my bedroom at night, and I can't avoid you. But you know, I don't know.
But if you aren't willing and I force myself on you anyway,
That's
it's not
rape.
so pleasurable for me.
That's rape.
Even if I get what I want,
That's a
it won't
crime.
be as worth the effort.
That's violence. That's a crime. Nope. Okay. Curiosity about demons grew, and I realized what deal I had made. So you'll stay for a couple of days?
A day is enough.
Okay. Yeah, sure, fine.
Yeah, sure, fine.
I mean, I gotta think of a way to keep my memories while you're chilling here. I guess. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Anna looked up at me and down once again. I felt like a little naked all of a sudden under her gaze, but I ignored it as she shrugged.
All right.
So we're gonna, like, have a slumber party? Or you wanna watch movies, Diana? I mean, I got some video games that I played. What else I got? Can make some coffee. And I kept her eyes on me, unsure of what was going on for the look of her face.
So, what do you want to know? You're obviously curious about demons enough to make a deal with me.
Well, Diana, I want to know how to play the game, so I could, like, get a friend. Like a demon friend. That'd be nice. I first thought shock to her, but then I remembered the boys. Not all of my questions were answered. Wanted to know everything. First of all, who exactly are you, lady? Anna chuckled before crossing her arms.
You may refer to me as simply Diana. As I said before, I'm a succubus, and I intend to bring the boys back home.
What if they don't want to go back home? Back home? What do you mean? Back to the demon world?
Precisely. They don't belong here, and it's imperative that they return.
Huh. Why?
Did they not tell you? They're runaway royals.
Really? Are you kidding me? You're telling me that all 5 of those guys are related, and they're like princes of some demon realm or something, and they ran away here, and my grandpa gave them a bunch of, like, hipster-looking clothes and shit. Yeah. Dan simply smirked at my new surprised face.
Ah, so they didn't tell you. How unfortunate. You were in the presence of a demon prince and his noble brothers and you didn't even know.
Nope. I didn't. Felt myself unconsciously walk over and sit in my bed. They had something gigantic for me. Why did they not trust me? Then again, it had only been a couple of days, yet they helped me and were here for me regardless, acting like servants instead of noblemen. Gripped my head in frustration. What am I supposed to believe?
Believe whatever you wish. The confusion will fade away soon enough, regardless.
It's not. I'm confused, Diana. I don't understand any of this shit. I mean, I'm happy with demon powers. Trust me, like, I am not, complaining about that. I'm just a little confused as to the story and, what the hell's going on, is all. looked at Diana, who only gave me an almost somber look in return. She was serious about removing my memories, but she would keep her end of the deal until I learned all I could. That and I felt thrilled to have her. Maybe it was because she was a succubus. I don't know. Sighed and faced Diana. So how did you get to the human world? How did the boys get here?
With the help of a human, in both of our cases. There's truly no need for details beyond that. Any human can cast a demon's summoning spell. It's just a matter of what happens during the summoning and after where things get tricky.
Huh, you don't say. What do you mean?
Well, if a human is willing, only part of their life force is taken from them, and they are given one chance to open a bridge between our worlds to allow the demon they desire to come through. The more demons come through, the more life force the spell takes.
Huh, that's really depressing, Diana. That means that my virtual grandfather summoned all the sexy guys and died from the overload of sexiness.
Luckily for the poor human that brought them here, the boys sacrificed some of their own powers to open the bridge instead of letting the spell feed solely on the human. The human lived, and the boys came through.
Huh, so how did you get here then? Who let you in? Almost made sense. Something in my mind clicked, but I couldn't clear it to figure out what it was. I only nodded to Diana. And you were the same?
Somewhat. However, I don't care to go into details about how I came here.
I kinda wanna know.
You'll forget soon enough.
Why don't you tell me anyway? Yeah, it's not part of the deal.
You wish to have me around for more information.
Yeah.
I get to decide what information to give.
Yeah. Cheater.
It's not cheating if it's not a broken rule.
I mean, if I'm not gonna remember, what's the point? Just tell me anyway. Hobbled and crossed my arms and legs. Diana was a game player. I didn't like her rules. However, they were the rules that I had to accept in order to keep my memories a little while longer. I'd find a way to remember. She wasn't gonna win. She wasn't gonna win. I'm gonna remember this shit. Then I let a small chuckle and ran a hand through her hair.
Well, I believe I should head to bed. If I'm to stay here, then I need some form of sleep.
Alright, have a good night. I'm gonna run away while you sleep. I watched Diana cross through my room to the door and open it. She turned to me with a small wink.
Have a good night. See you in the morning.
No, you won't, 'cause I'm out of this town, baby. Before I could respond, she exited my room and closed the door behind her. I stared. It was like she was in control. I almost gritted my teeth at the thought. She wasn't the master of the house. I was. I huffled. Crawled back under the covers. How did my life get so complicated? What's going on with me? Must have had a serious bad luck. I sighed and covered myself with my blankets, wanting tonight to end. I needed tomorrow to come. School would take my mind off of things. No, Q, we gotta get the fuck out of here, man. We gotta get out of here. We gotta run. We gotta run away. School actually happened, anyway. I woke up the morning minutes before my alarm. Felt a slight groggy, but didn't exactly feel bad. It was more of a physical exhaustion with my mind ready to take on the day. Stretched and quickly changed into my clothes before heading downstairs with my bag. As I reached the lobby, I stopped and sniffed the sudden new smell in the air. Breakfast. Hey, I continued my way down the dining room to see Diana laying out a plate covered with sliced fruit. On the table there were delicious smelling eggs, toast, veggies, and fruit. Holy shit! Then I remembered that it was Diana served breakfast, and I shook my head. What are you doing?
Ah, you're up. Come. Breakfast. I didn't know what you liked, so I made everything I knew humans ate for this time of day.
Huh. Why? I walked over and scanned the table before giggling. Anna raised an eyebrow at me.
And what is so funny?
Well, I don't know. You didn't make everything breakfast related. You forgot a couple things.
Like what?
I don't know. coffee, pancakes, waffles. Yeah, you can't forget the pancakes, man. Diana looked almost insulted before looking at the table, recounting the plates. I laughed harder, making her glare at me. Yeah, what about hash browns and stuff?
I haven't been in the human world long enough to know everything, alright? Unlike the boys, I know little to nothing about what you humans eat in your homes.
Well, maybe they should stay here then. Mention of the boys, I suddenly remembered them. They treated me like part of their family, caring for me and making sure I was okay beyond anything else. They were servants to me, and I let them go. Yeah, what the fuck, Q? I wouldn't have let them go. Let us sigh at the memory. Little did I know that Diana stared at me the entire time. I shook my head and looked at the table, getting an empty plate and filling it with what I wanted before sitting and eating. Diana remained standing, watching me. I almost felt naked under her gaze, so I looked over, pausing my eating. Aren't you gonna eat?
I already ate.
Oh. What'd you eat?
You really wish to know?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, what'd you eat? I want to know more about demons. I want to know about her. Of course I said yes. Diana stared in surprise at me before smirking a bit and reached into her cleavage. Oh, good lord, woman. I watched as she pulled out a small purple vial. She popped the cork and poured a mere couple sipfuls in her palm before recorking the vial and placing it back in her dress. Diana closed her eyes and closed her hand. What was she doing? This was odd to watch, and yet at the same time it was probably at the edge of my seat in curiosity. What was she going to do? Her hand started to open, almost like a blossoming flower, and revealed a small peach-sized fruit. It was purple. It had almost an enchanting spell to it that made my food seem almost disgusting. Really?
A plant from the abyssal plains. We call it a sweet flower. Would you like to try it?
That depends. Is it going to take away my memories or cause me irritable bowel syndrome? Yeah. I nodded, staring at the fruit. Looked absolutely glorious and delectable. Couldn't resist grabbing it onto the chance to try it. Diana nodded before cupping the fruit in both hands and pulling the purple flesh from the fruit, revealing a juicy blackish center. As if it was cut on the inside, Diana pulled out a perfect slice and handed it to me.
I must say, you may be the first human to try this fruit. You should consider yourself lucky.
Cool. I nodded. And, it was juicy and clear, painted over my fingers. I didn't care. I wanted to try it and savor it. Lifted the small slice to my lips, took a small bite, feeling ecstasy run through my mouth. I almost couldn't fight back the moan that was erupting from my throat. Must be a super pomegranate. It was sweet, yet it was slightly tart. It was a perfect combination, and at the same time it felt so unnatural. I felt not only pleasure in my mouth, but my body began to feel energized and warm. All of that was from a small bite. While the biteful had let out a pleasure sigh, making Diana smirk slightly at me with a raised eyebrow. I couldn't lie to her about how it tasted. It's delicious!
That it is. They're natively grown in my kingdom, so I have the pleasure of enjoying these every day.
Huh. You have a kingdom?
I do. The boys are not the only royals in the demon world, sweetie. I just so happen to be a princess.
Okay. Was she really a princess? Oh, she looked so mature. She was more of a queen than a princess. Really? You're a princess? You seem more like a queen. For a split second, I swore I saw Diana blush, but she started to laugh. I shook my head at the thought.
You flatter me, little girl. You best be careful. I may just take your flattery as an invitation to take your energy.
Please don't. I need that energy to escape from your clutches so I can, keep my memories. I shut my mouth, feeling the blush run across my own cheeks. I turned to eat the fruit, hearing her chuckle and eat the remainder of the fruit on her own. Surprisingly, I felt full, Just from that small slice. How could that be? The only explanation I had was that it was demon fruit, so I mentally accepted it as just that. You know, like a senzu bean. What I didn't expect was Diana leaning over and lifting my chin to look down at me. What the fuck? Get away from me, lady.
Messy, aren't you?
Well, sorry, I didn't know all the purple shit was gonna go all over my hands and tables and... Ugh. Stared at Diana, came closer and gently kissed my cheek. Oh god, get away from me, lady! What was she doing? Why was she kissing my cheek? I was right in the face already, and here she was taking advantage. Diana pulled away and slightly licked and popped her lips. What?
You had a little juice on the side of your lip. It was bothering me.
Well, you could have just told me. I would have wiped it away with a napkin, lady. Ran my fingers over where she kissed me, and felt the red face grow even hotter. Diana chuckled slightly at the sight, making me almost glare at her. I don't know if she was flirting with me or trying to embarrass me. Either way, she's winning. Damn bitch. I had to distract her so I could jump out the window and run. Eventually, my alarm was starting to go off. It reminded me of ready feeding those Naomi and Suzu. Right, school was a thing. I had to go. I don't want to go. I stood from my chair and grabbed my bag, walking out the dining room.
And where are you going, might I ask?
School? I gotta go to school.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, I'll be back. Dana, look, I looked at Dana, feeling that she was up to something. She had her arms crossed, looking at me as if I owed her some. What?
Well, I don't exactly want you to leave this house with the memories you have. I'd be breaking the rules if I allowed that.
Well... Shit. Well, we had a deal. You stay for a day, I keep my memories until you leave. I still have to go to school too, though.
Then skip school and stay home.
Alright. I'll do that.
That, or I go with you.
Really? What? Dad, it was crazy to suggest going to my school. It's practically signing a death wish. Everybody would ask about her. What would I tell everybody? That's crazy talk.
I can't let you leave this house with those memories unless I'm with you. Rules are rules.
Well, damn it, I can't run away. What rules?
The rules of the world, sweetie.
Which is? What is she talking about, Willis?
The rules applies to any magical being that lives in the human world. They were established on a day you humans might know as the birth date of Jesus Christ.
What? Dan, are you making this shit up? You're making this shit up. What?
It's a story to some, a religious faith to others. I won't deny or prove a religion exists because that's a human matter. Magical beings, on the other hand, don't pay attention unless they're angels from the world of heaven.
Okay. Curiosity was pecking at me until my mind like a frantic accordion. I wanted to know more. Diana was giving me answers and I wanted to ask more questions. I had to go to school, but I was conflicted.
Stay, and I'll tell you more of these rules.
Alright. And if I go?
Then I take your memories. Now.
Uh-oh, gotta stay then. I was trapped. There was no way I could bring Diana with me without some repercussion. But if she took my memories now, I'd go to school without remembering anything. Or if I stayed, I could learn more, but I'd miss school. You really thinking about going to school? Fuck school, I hate school, I'll stay. Bit my lip, did I really want to stay? I feel my fingers run over my phone and call up Naomi. Without even listening to the phone, I spoke into it. Hey girls, I'm feeling real sick. I'm not going to school. P.S. Help me, because I'm being held hostage by a demon. Alright, lady, you're gonna tell me everything.
I'll do the best I can.
I walk up the stairs with Diana behind me. I glance into the dining room to see it was already clean. I guess Diana used magic to clean up after us. Really? That was weird. Continued my wound up walk into my bedroom. I sat on the bed as Diana stood up on the balcony window. Just like last night. So, can I ask you anything and you'll answer, right?
I'll give you the best answers I can give.
Knowing Diana, I could have been a white lie. She already had hidden some details, but I guess she had her reasons. However, I need to know more than just details. The rules of the worlds. What are they?
They are the heart and soul of the human world, created and approved by all 5 worlds on the human date, December 25th.
Huh. Okay. 5 worlds?
In human terms, there is the human world, heaven, purgatory, hell, and the abyss.
Okay. What are the rules of this agreement?
These rules dictate the behavior of otherworldly creatures in the human world. Without them, there would be constant war between angels and devils, while the vampires would try and enslave humanity.
Vampires? There's vampires in this? Well, introduce me.
Demons are merely the watchers, but often the devils or vampires will try and coax them into joining them.
Okay. So angels and vampires exist too.
Yes. Angels are from heaven, watching over the human world with a careful eye. Vampires are from the human world, but pass on to purgatory before rebirth.
I see. I stared at my lap. This was amazing, yet it wasn't satisfying my curiosity. Did I want to know more? Did I want to know more about demons? This is overwhelming. I still gotta figure out a way to escape, though. So these rules have over humans? Humans can't know about magic at all?
Correct. Humans, to the angels, need to remain pure and innocent. So they dictated that humans cannot know of the other worlds or of other beings. The rest of us agreed. Only a select few are allowed to know the truth about us.
And who are those select few? And isn't that cheating? Cause, you guys can just, eat us, and we don't know shit. That's kinda mean, man. Yeah, that's hardly fair, isn't it?
Well, take a look at yourself. You're barely proficient with magic. Your kind is too focused on who will fight the next war or who will screw the next person.
Hey man, don't just because other people are crazy doesn't mean I'm crazy. I mean, I'm crazy, but in a artistic way, you know? Other people are crazy in a destructive way, and I create things, so that's different right there, Missy.
I'm sorry to admit this, but humans are the weakest race in the planes of existence. The only ones who truly protect you are angels.
And, where are these angels? I felt angry that she made humans sound so inferior. Maybe had her faults. Wasn't like any of us. Any other races were better, right? There's no way humans were the inferior race. Well, we're not inferior.
Oh, you're not now? Really?
Anna stared at me, looking up and down, smirking a bit.
Let's go on a little trip, shall we?
Cool! I raised my eyebrow. What was she on about? First wanted me to stay here, now she wants to go out. What's with this girl? Before I could protest, the world began to spin around me, forcing me to jump up and grab onto Diana. She held me as the rim spun, practically out of my control. My fear escalated and I buried my face into her shoulder, wanting to stop. If she was trying to prove a scary point, it was working! I felt the world slow down around me and soon come to a halt. I didn't want to look, but gently, Diana pushed me away from her body for me to look around. I gasped when I realized that I was in a business office. What's going on here? Where are we?
Just a simple business office. Nothing more.
Are you sure? I looked around and felt an air of familiarity in the room. Couldn't figure out why my brain kept me aware that I knew this place somehow. I didn't think too long on it. Suddenly a group of businessmen entered the room, stopping at the sight of Dan and me.
Who are you two?
I don't know. Ask her. What's gonna happen? Were we gonna be thrown out? Are you gonna get in trouble? This is a nightmare. Dan's giggle stopped my thoughts. I looked up to see her smirking at the group of men, a hand by her lips.
Why, do you not know who we are? For shame, for shame.
Are you pulling Robert on these people? Diana guided me to a chair and sat me down before sitting at the table. I practically turned red as Diana hiked her dress to where her entire leg slipped out from the slit. She crossed her legs and tossed her hair gently.
We are your employers. This lovely lady is the CEO of the company, and I am her personal secretary. You men, however, are late.
Yeah, what she said. Stared at Diana as she started down the group of men like a tigress would her prey. The group collectively began to shuffle in nervousness, surprising me. They believe in her lie and how. Diana smiled and lifted her leg slightly, making the men lean in for a possible panty shot. Couldn't help but feel both stunned and slightly jealous. But I'm not jealous. I'm not a pervert. What the fuck, man? What the fuck, you?
One of you needs to come over here and kiss my foot as an apology.
Pretty sure that's a good idea, Diana. What? Looked at Diana's foot, seeing it gently bob slight impatience. What the fuck, Diana? Let my thoughts become destroyed as I watched the man step out in front of the group nervously, get on his knees in front of Diana as he... Really? No way! The man gently kissed her foot, making an almost sultry sigh escape from her lips. As she sent a shiver down my spine, Diana smirked and leaned back on her hands, looking down at the man before her.
My ankle next.
Like an obedient servant, the man traveled and kissed her ankle as Diana let her head fall back with another sigh. Diana, what the fuck you doing, girl?
Proving to you how weak the human mind is.
I mean, that doesn't prove shit, man. You just picked a pervert. One pervert doesn't...
Water, a massage, another kiss.
Diana, one pervert does not, you know, mean that all the peoples are like that. With each command, a man would separate from the group and fulfill it obediently. I watched as each man became practically a slave to her whim. Diana closed her eyes and let out a pleasure hum, making my spine tingle again. No, it isn't. I'm fine. For some reason, this irritated me beyond belief, watching her be pampered. Ugh. Sick bastard. I wanted it to stop. Don't say anything. That's enough, Diana. What should I do? I could just... I mean, the longer she plays around, the longer I get to keep my memories. But I am making new memories with her. And I'd rather just get the frick out of here, so... This isn't gonna turn into sexy time if I don't say anything, right? Like, this will still be PG-13, right? 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 Damn it, what should I do? I mean, I want her to stop, but I need to escape. I need to get out of here. I need to keep my memories. Damn. So many choices. Damn jazz music putting me off edge. Let's see here. Alright, Diana. Let's see. Damn it, I really can't decide here. Any, mini, miny, mo, gadget tiger, by the toe, if your house let go, my mother once told me to pick the very best one, and you are it. Don't say anything. Really? Really? I can't say anything? Just gonna let it ride out? I mean, you're not gonna kill anybody, are you, Diana? Kinda just walked in on their company. Kinda mean. Well... I think... Well, damn it. Damn it. That's enough. Don't say anything. Alright, Diana. I think that's quite enough out of you, Missy. Could just watch, though. Watch him get water and comb her hair or something. I don't know. So many choices. Man. I'm sorry, Diana, but I'd rather be hanging out with someone else. But, I don't know. Am I gonna lose my memories if I say that's enough? You know what? I'm not gonna say anything. I want to keep my memories, so I'm just gonna watch. I sat in silence waiting for her to be done. I'd be bored eventually. Then again, she was a succubus, so who knows when she'd get bored of attention. At a snap of Diana's fingers, the boys huddled together back where they were. Diana then turned her head and smiled at me.
See? Easy to manipulate.
Yeah, it's because you're a sexy succubus lady. Like. Oh yeah, I got another question. Why did you sick that bully on me, Diana? And yeah, so what? They're guys obeying a hot chick. Yeah, that's what I said, Q. Yeah, we're in sync. We got this.
Oh, trust me. Women are just as weak-minded as men. Just because I'm a woman doesn't mean I can't attract the same sex.
If you're gonna try to attract me, I am not buying it, girl. Let's just go home. Diana sighed and rolled her shoulders.
Fine.
Alright. You couldn't take me somewhere cooler. Why'd you have to keep me in the human realm? We could have went anywhere, man. Could have toured me your mansion in the demon realm. That would have been interesting. A mere breath later, we were back in my bedroom. Both of us sat on my bed. Diana stretched her arms up and smiled at me.
So, now do you understand the vulnerability of humanity?
That doesn't prove shit, man. I mean, you're a sexy hot chick with a party dress, and you got a bunch of men to do a bunch of chores for you. A big whoop. Gritted my teeth. Humans weren't as weak as she claimed. I couldn't believe it. Just because we were weak didn't mean that we couldn't know about those who were supposedly more powerful than us. I glared at Diana. That justifies ignorance? How does that justify ignorance?
Ignorance is the only safety humans get to have. If humans were to know about us, do you know what kind of chaos would occur?
I mean, wars, slavery, I don't know, basically what they do to animals. For once I felt scared. Diana's eyes were cold as ice, and she stared into my soul, practically giving me the frightening feeling of the future at question. Uh-oh.
There are already wars in the human world being fought amongst yourselves. Equality, dominance, power. The human world is practically the image of self-chaos. Innocent blood is spilled every day in your world. Doesn't matter the color or creed you carry.
I get you, Diana, but that's not me. I'm not the one killing people. I don't, like I said, I'm, creative crazy, not destructive crazy.
You think blood is spilt now? There will be much more if humans knew about otherworldly creatures. Our existences can destroy beliefs and human logic.
Well, maybe that's a good thing, Diana. Maybe we need to destroy our beliefs in human logic, because then we wouldn't be fighting each other, because we'd focus on the true matters at hand. Felt the world around me go dark as I stared at Diana. Sounds of screaming and battle raged around me. But I kept my eyes to the one person I could see. Was this an illusion, or was it a trick? Didn't feel like that.
Religions would crumble and civil wars would clash. Paranoia would be a constant in every human mind. And soon armies will rise up, trying to defend humanity without true knowledge of who we are and what we can do.
Yeah, I get that, but I'm still sticking to my guns, Diana.
Vampires would be forced to retaliate and build armies of their own, and trust me, they're not as friendly as the vampires in your human fictional drabble.
You mean like Dracula? When he raped and killed a bunch of women? Yeah, that's pretty friendly, right?
Devils would have a heyday and wreak havoc, finally finding a collective weakness in the human world to exploit. Angels would have to come down and fight their devil rivals, and the human world would become their battlefield.
I mean, I guess you got a point, but still, I just don't accept it. See the world Diana described flash before my eyes. I could see humans screaming and fighting at each other, trying to figure out who and what was being frightful with every blink. I imagined devils like Malik's raising cities and killing people while soldiers tried to fight back, failing and dying in every turn. I mean, he tried to kill all those police officers, and the police officers didn't know shit. I mean, it's already a battlefield, Diana. The image was scary, and I didn't want to imagine it. I shook my head, holding it in my hands. Before looking at Diana, my room had returned, and Diana stared back at me. To my surprise, she had a concerned face.
The rules are to make sure that we all stay at peace. To have us all fighting at once would result in a massive cataclysm that would engulf everything and everyone, no matter what you were.
I get what you're saying, but I don't want to lose my memories. I like my memories, even if they're bad memories. How can I learn or progress if I can't keep my memories? You gotta save your progress to keep going, man. Diana finally broke away from the gaze she held onto me and stared at me at the far wall. I could see a look of fear rush through her eyes as she looked away from me. I almost felt sorry, but in my confusion, covered my concern.
Demons already have enough on our collective plates. We don't need to become the backlash victims of broken ignorance.
Diana. Something in Diana's eyes made my heart almost hurt. Even though she wasn't looking at me, I could almost see all the emotions that ran in her mind just by observing her eyes. I felt bad, terrible, even, for questioning her as I did. I was only human after all. However, I felt the need to comfort her. Something was going on and Diana wasn't holding back. Whether or not I learned more by comforting her, it's almost as it didn't matter. Diana, listen. You can't... I'm not gonna go around killing demons and devils and destroying the balance of the universe. Just chill out, girl. Diana stared at me for a brief moment before shaking her head frantically and shutting her eyes tightly. A soft sigh escaped her lips before she looked again with me with almost a new resolve.
I'm fine. I was merely trying to prove my points.
I know, girl, but come on. I'm not gonna be a mass murderer. I mean, I play video games for Christ's sakes. Come on. Day then became filled with Diana teaching me about magic. Even when the day ended, I needed to learn more. I began to crave it. Begged Diana to stay, despite knowing our deal. Diana, despite promising to only stay a day, agreed to stay longer to tell me more. Soon days passed by, filled with lessons and examples of magic. Oh, sweet! Still gonna be a demon in the end, guys. Knowing that I would be missed at school, Diana quickly took care of making sure I wasn't missed. Simply a simple spell, as she called it. She created an illusion of me to go in my place. It was real to humans and acted just like me, but it was like a ghost to demons. Huh. Interesting. I kinda wished I would remember that spell. She told me of vampires created that looked just like humans who had an inner hierarchy. There were 4 types of vampires, but all of them were under oath by the rules that the world's not to hunt humans. It was strange, and it felt like a fictional novel, but Anna promised that vampires were not like the books. They had adapted to living with humans, creating a formula that allowed them to walk around during the day. They even had a blood bank as currency, made synthetic blood to quench their thirst. They had real blood to drink, of course, but they got either through hospital blood drives or black market means. It was surreal. Devils were chaotic as Malik was, but they were still under the command of the very powerful fallen angel devil King Satan. He, however, had the heart of an angel. What? He was simply sitting in hell and waiting for an opening into the human world. I hoped he would never come. Angels, on the other hand, were not as I expected. When I thought of angels, I imagined beautiful, human-looking creatures with wings and halos.
I still wonder who spread that rumor.
I don't know. Painters. Diana explained that they actually looked monstrous. Even archetype of angel looked different, but Diana couldn't describe them at all. The one that stood out the most to me was the Sephirim. She described it as a mysterious creature that hid behind 3 large pairs of wings. What if the Sephirim did look human?
Well, anyone who has met a seraphim and tried to find out has not lived to spill the secret.
Huh. Scary, guess. Angels were strict and were not far as forgiving as many claimed. According to Diana, they had a love-hate relationship with humans, but they didn't try to dominate us. They only became mediators for the rule of the worlds. Why not?
I'd rather not get into that.
Yeah, sounds complicated. But why?
It's not my place to talk about heaven. Only the angels.
She also mentioned their methods for memory removal. As the self-proclaimed guardians of the humans, they have the right to baptize humans who held memories of other worldly creatures, should they find any in the human world. This baptism not only erased their memories of magic, but it erased their entire memory clean. Humans wouldn't remember who they were or who they knew. A blank canvas. Demons, however, unlike the others, were passive creatures that only truly cared for their other world. They had their own lands, kingdoms, and lords living there. The most powerful demon in Abyssal Plains was the Demon Lord, which was me, by the way. He was me. Father, Ursula's man. Oh, yeah, but I defeated him. He had conquered several kingdoms with a massive indestructible army. Many demons died under his brutality, but when he did cower, life for demon was like a human renaissance. Many feared that the land that he would take next, however. To one surprise, the Demon Lord had tried to be peaceful with Diana's kingdom as she offered as a bride to one of his sons. Really? Why would you accept that?
I had no choice. I was barely a child when the decision was made, and when I learned of it, I had accepted it.
Well, James is a nice guy. You should go for him. Why, though? How would you, know if you would be in love with the guy you married?
It didn't matter. My kingdom would be safe, and I would be able to live with knowing I was able to protect my kingdom.
I see. Stared at Diana, and she smiled at me with sad eyes. She really didn't want to marry them. It was practically painted all over her face. So that's why you want him back in the worlds, cause that way you can marry him and your kingdom won't be destroyed by the Demon Lord. You shouldn't have to marry anyone you don't love. Damn it. Did I really intervene? I mean, I gotta keep my memories. I gotta escape. Gotta keep her busy. Gotta keep her mind on something else. Then his face shifted to one of the surprises as she looked at me. I was being honest, though. She didn't have to marry someone to protect the kingdom. It would be safe, yes, but you would be unhappy. Could you live with yourself knowing that?
I'd rather be unhappy than see my kingdom burn to the ground. Besides, as the bride of the next Demon Lord, I'd have the ability to change things. I could disband his armies, bring peace to the Abyssal Plains.
I see. Well, looks like I'm gonna have to be a demon again to help you out, I guess. I don't care about love. Fuck love. There is no such thing as love.
Love?
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't exist. I looked at her lap and sighed.
Love can't exist for me. I'm the most powerful succubus in the demon world. Anyone who would go after me would only be entranced by my power.
I see. Well... okay. Yeah, I'm not entranced by your power. Dad chuckled, making me blush a bit. I was being honest, and there she was laughing at my words.
You're a human, dear. You can't know when I'm using my powers or not. I could be using them now, making you interested in me to trust me.
Oh shit! You mean this whole time I could never get away because you were just messing with me? But you're not, are you? Dana then silenced herself. She stared at me, knowing that her silence would give me my answer. I smirked at her. You like me? Oh God, no! Oh, I don't want to go this way. I don't want to be sexy time with Diana, okay? Alright? I just want to escape. I just want to keep my memories.
What?
I don't know. Ignore what Q said. Ignore the Q. No, ignore the Q.
I do not. I'm merely fulfilling my end of the deal.
I know. Ignore the Q. Ignore the Q. I felt like it. Oh no, ignore the Q. Oh my God, ignore the Q. Ignore the Q. Oh my God. Oh, a mirror separated our lips. Oh no. I barely remember what I was saying. That reminded me, hold me, did fight. She stared into my soul out loud and was concerned at the time. I was intrigued. No, ignore the Q. That was indeed a beautiful woman. Seeing her up close made my face turn slightly red in embarrassment. Any time I could leave and kiss me, maybe even take my energy. However, she didn't.
You are interesting for a human.
No. Then she released me and stared at me, watching me and stared back with a red face. No, you don't, Q. No, you just gotta get away and keep
Is
your
there
memories.
anything else you wanted to know?
Yeah. Stared at her as a thought. Was there anything else I wanted to know? My memories were forfeit in the end, so everything was up for grabs. Yeah, I couldn't think of a question. Damn it. I'm running out of things to ask. The Q's in the question. There's nothing else I needed to know. That should be all.
I understand.
Diana stood at just the bottom of her dress before smiling at me. I barely noticed how much time had passed between us. Felt like forever, yet I enjoyed learning more. I felt bad that I had to lose my memories. However, that was the deal. According to Diana, demons never go back on their word.
Well, if you don't mind, there's one place I need to visit, and I'd rather visit it now than after I take your memories. I'll be gone from the area for quite a while, anyway.
You mean you're leaving? And I could escape?
A cemetery.
Really?
There's something I need to do there. It's boring, sadly, but I need to do it. You need to come with so I can watch you.
What? Why does she need to go to the cemetery? Why does she need to go to the cemetery?
No need to get dressed up. It's just a brief visit.
Okay. Was the spitting the trick that she did? Okay. Soon the world grew black in color, and I was standing in the field, somehow recognized. Looked down and regretted it. Oh, what the fuck, man? Don't take me here. Ah, oh, damn it.
Here we are.
No! Why? Stared at Diana, and she muttered a small incantation under her breath. In her hands formed a small vase with purple lilac. She gently knelt down and placed them beside the grave.
I had to pay my respects to this man.
Why? Were you a friend of his? I needed to know. My mind began screaming. Something wasn't right. Why did she know him? What's going on?
No, I wasn't a friend of his. I didn't even know him.
Well, then why the fuck are we here? Why are you giving him flowers, woman? My mind began to screech loud in my head. Why? Why are you giving him flowers?
You don't need to know. I highly doubt you knew this man.
Then why the fuck did you bring him here? Yes, I do. Diana stared wide-eyed in a mixture of fear. My heart began to squeeze tightly in my chest, just looking at me like that.
How do you know him?
He's my fucking grandpa.
How?
Answer my question. Couldn't hold my voice. I needed to hear her answer. I didn't know anything else. Anything other than her answer would infuriate me. Then I looked at the grave, let out a small sigh. My heart tightened further. Answer me. I need the answer.
This man helped the boys come to the human world. He opened a bridge and let them through, before sealing it with a part of his life force.
There was more. I knew there was more. I remained silent as she took a breath.
I had come to visit their castle one day, and when they told me that the boys were gone, I became frantic. Without the contract marriage, the demon lord would have had the freedom to march on my kingdom and conquer it. I couldn't let that happen.
Did you kill my grandpa?
So I tried to find a way here. I searched the castle during my brief visit, trying to find out where the boys went. I found it. This man left behind a small trace of his spell, small enough to be undetected by the inhabitants of the castle.
You killed my grandpa. Dan looked at me, pain on her face that made me already pained.
Demon magic is best with consent, but takes more energy when forced. So, in a blind need, I recast the spell and used that man's life force to open the bridge once more and seal it completely when I walked through. I didn't know I was taking the rest of his life. By the time the bridge closed, the man had already passed. He was visiting someone in a nearby hospital, so when I left to find the boys, the staff had found him and tried to revive him. I didn't want to take his life. I thought he was a younger man. I didn't know he was as old as he was.
You murdered him!
It's my fault this man is dead. But I needed to come to the human world, and he was my only chance to get close enough to track the boys down.
You murdered him! Diana tensed up and stared at me. Her face was painted with regret and sadness, something not like her usual self. You killed my grandfather!
Your grandfather?
Yeah, bitch! Run, attack her. I kinda want to attack her, but I understand what she's doing. I'm just gonna run. Fuck this shit. I quickly turned and ran, hearing Diana call for me from behind.
Wait!
I ran. I didn't look back. I couldn't look back. She started all this. She was the one who turned my world upside down. She was the reason for this chaos I was in. She took my grandfather away. I ran to the gates of the cemetery, through the streets to my house. This time the world was in slow motion, and I was the only one going fast forward. I didn't care what was going around me. I just needed to run. My heart began to freeze in my chest. Pain, the feeling of needles and knives piercing through it. Tears were running down my face, but I knew where I was running. I ran through the front gates of my house and sprinted inside. I zipped up the stairs and ran into my room. As I slammed the door behind me, I began to weep violently, leaned against the door and slid to the ground, crying. My world was crumbling and I didn't like it. My world was broken apart and I didn't want it. All I could do, though, was cry. My heart denied me from thinking about anything else. I cried. I continued to cry. I let my heart empty its pain with each tear that ran down my cheeks. My scream echoed through the room, bouncing around a river, breathing into my head. I didn't care if it hurt to hear it. I didn't care about anything anymore. All I cared about was crying. I hurled into a ball and cried. I didn't even know when I passed out. I don't remember losing my eyes and letting the darkness take me. The darkness was comforting. I felt my sadness numb with it. There was no reality in that darkness to haunt me or hurt me. I wanted to stay within it forever. However, my body forced me to open my eyes, and I saw the room focus around me, and I realized that I was staring at the ceiling. I was in bed under my covers. I sat up and looked around, stopping to see Diana leaning against the balcony window, looking away from me. Why was she here? Did she carry me to bed? I felt my anger wanting to speak out against Diana, but I noticed the puffiness around her visible eye. Had she been crying? Seeing her bloodshot puffy eye made me fully aware of my own eyes and how dried they had become after crying. I rubbed my eyes and let out a shaky sigh.
I'm sorry.
Stared at Diana. My heart didn't want to hear it, but I let her speak.
I didn't want to come here in the first place. I only thought of bringing the boys back to protect my kingdom, so everything else became secondary. I didn't mean to take his life.
But you did.
I did. I can't ask for forgiveness, but I still am sorry. If I could turn back time, I would find another way.
You know, it's because of you that I met the boys.
Huh?
I looked up to my blanket-covered lap. I remembered the funeral, the meeting with the boys. Everything came at me at once, and now I had one puzzle piece that all fit together. If my grandfather hadn't died, he'd still be living here, and he'd still be the one taking care of the boys instead of me. but he died and gave me his estate, so I came to meet them for the first time. I looked at Diana, seeing her sad face, but I could tell she really regretted her choice, and she was upset. I couldn't sense any deception in her. I guess I have to thank you for introducing me to them and to magic, since my grandfather couldn't do it himself anyway. Diana looked down, pressing her lips together and closing her eyes.
I need to take your memories now. A deal's a deal. I fulfilled my part and told you everything. I had nothing left to tell you, and you can't keep those memories.
I didn't speak. I watched Diana argue into the air about taking my memories. It felt like she was now doubting the deal, not wanting to take away the truth from me. Did I want her to? This was my chance to return to ignorance. I'd never remember that she took my grandfather's life. I'd never remember everything she showed me and taught me. I returned to normalcy. Don't take my memories. Diana stared at me, a look of almost despair at her face. I, however, kept my eyes to her. You took away my grandfather. What gives you the right to take my memories away?
But
I'm done speaking. I'm not done speaking. Diana shut her mouth, listening obediently. I needed to speak my mind. She had no right to take anything away. I knew the truth now, and that was all that mattered to me. Screw the rules. I deserve to remember everything. I was thrown into this mess because of you. No one has the right to take anything away from me. Diana took a step towards me, and I was ready to snap at her. However, she gently leaned over me and ran a hand over my head.
All right.
What?
I won't take your memories.
Stared up at her in shock. Was she serious? Diana smiled at me and stood back up.
You're right. You deserve to know everything. It's the least I can do.
I felt almost joyful. She agreed with me. This was a huge deal. I didn't forget Diana, but it was better to know than to be left in ignorance. Eventually, I would be able to move on. Until then, Diana was willing to stay and teach me the life my grandfather knew in redemption. It was something.
Head back to sleep and I'll teach you more in the morning. I'll stay a few more days until you know everything.
Something felt off, but I nodded, feeling exhausted. Exhaustion drift over me again. Was it natural? I didn't know. My head began to spin and I needed more rest. Diana gently laid me back down and moved hair from my face.
Rest.
As if from a spell, I closed my eyes and fell back into an unconscious darkness. My heart was healing and it would take time to heal. Thankfully, it had time now to heal, to grow stronger. What? Is that the password?
I know.
I heard voices and tried to open my eyes, but I couldn't.
You don't need to remind me, Angel. I'm just doing my civil duty.
Angel? Was there an angel doing here? What was Diana talking to him? That's creepy as shit, man.
Do what you need to do. I've already destroyed one life, and now I have to destroy another. All from my kingdom. Angel, do it now before I change my mind. I'm sorry.
Then a mere breath, my body suddenly became light as a feather, and I became numb. I felt my body float downwards into an empty black abyss as if I was drowning in water. Oh no! My mind became completely blank. I had no memories, no feelings, nothing. I became a blank canvas, a body without a soul. Pure, innocent, ignorant. What? Aw, what? Ah, I am either destined for a life of a demon lord or nothingness. Well, folks, I tried. I tried fixing the game, but apparently I'm destined for greatness in the demon realm. So, with that said, thanks for watching, and we're gonna play another game. See ya there!